Do you want to know what nickel varieties you can find from 1938 to 1942 before they made silver ones in 42? Then stay tuned. This is Daniel and you are watching CoinHelpU YouTube channel. Please like, share, and comment. Click the little bell beside the subscribe button. Today we're going to look at Jefferson Nickels from 1938 to 1942 non-silver. We're going to go over the varieties you can find, the repunched mint marks, so the double dies. So let's get started. First, I want to explain die deterioration doubling. You will see this on Jefferson Nickels a lot. You'll see it on nickels in general. It'll look like ripples on the coin. The doubling will be around the devices, basically around the lettering, around the numbers, on the date. If it's on all sides, then you know that that's die deterioration doubling. There is also strike doubling as well, but you don't want to confuse that with being a double die. A double die will be on one side of the devices, or it will be in one direction. It will also be the same height. It won't look all muddled and mixed up and deteriorated, basically is what it doesn't look like. The other thing is that there are many double dies for Jefferson Nickels. There's all kinds of what they call master hub doubled, meaning the master die created a bunch of working dies that were doubled. They struck a numerous amount of coins and no one has any idea how many are actually exist, so they can't be rare. Very little premium on them. I also want everybody to know that there's two prices for Jefferson Nickels. One price is for fully struck steps. NGC uses 5 and 6 step designation. PCGest use full steps. And then you have a price, their steps are not struck fully, and that's worth less. When I put prices up, that's going to be the prices. I'm not putting prices of full step nickels since that's very difficult to find. This is an example of a 1940 that I found. It has double die here on the 5 and the cents, and you can see the little areas here, the splits. This is master hub doubled. It's not any special variety. Small premium. I mean, the coin has the full steps, or at least it has almost full steps, and not a bad grade. Also, all Jefferson Nickels are not silver. From 1964 and back, a lot of people think that the nickels are silver as well. They are not silver. The only time they were silver was from 1942 to 1945, and there are some 1942 that are not silver. We'll cover those details here and later on in the video. I want people to know that the double dies and the RPMs that I'm showing you here, which are repunched mint marks, those in this video are the ones that have the premium. They're the ones you want to look for. Okay, and you want to match the images. You want to match exactly. Some of them have some value and some of them don't have as much value, but they all have a little bit of a premium. They're all listed, is what I'm trying to say. First, you have the 1938, and this is the FS 101 double die obverse. And when you come into these images, you're looking at here, and it's just a little slight doubled on the date here, and then on the star. But all these are on the obverse, and you just have to look really close for some of these. And here's the 1938. This is the FS 105. And when you look at this, you're looking for the little doubled features. That's another thing about these. This one's actually quadruple doubled obverse. So this is a quadruple double die. And when you're looking at it, down here is where you can tell the multiple times it was squeezed so that it created a quadruple effect. See if we can see if that's in the other images here. This is a little bit blurry of an image, but as you can see, when you see a clear image of this, it's unmistakable. And it's kind of a neat variety to find. Then you have the 1938, and this is the double die obverse. It's the FS 106. And here you're also looking for, like I said, I don't have die marks for some of these, but you're looking for slight doubled areas, extra thickness on the Liberty. And also in God We Trust, in God especially. I know it's hard to see in these images, but you can, if you have a clear image of it or you're looking at a coin, look at it with some magnification. Here is an example of all of the double dies that I was talking about. I mean, this is on Konica Variety Vista, There's just all kinds of varieties, all kinds of double dies. Most of them are really not worth any premium at all. Here is the 1939, and this is what they call the double Monticello. And here you can see the doubled areas. It's pretty prominent of a double die. It's pretty famous. It's easy to see with the naked eye. It's got a large spread to it. And I know that this one in higher grades can command a little bit of a premium. And also for 39, you have the 39 plain, 39D, and 39S. The 39 without a mint mark is struck at Philadelphia mint. The 39, but you also have for the 39 plain D and S, a reverse of 1940 and the reverse of 1938. The reverse of 1940 looks like this. They're straight. The reverse of 1938 is wavy. And that's one of the things that you have to look at. Here's the reverse of a 1938. It's kind of wavy. It looks a little thicker. It's a little softer struck. This one here is the 1939 reverse of 1940 double die of verse FS 101. And this one is known for the thickness. You can see this is here is a perfect example of what I was talking about. This is the die deterioration right in here. When you look over here, you're looking for the extra thickness. In God we trust. That's the main pickup point for this one. Now we're going to the 1941, and this one here is the large S FS 501. And I'll zoom in, and what you're looking at is it's a fatter, squatter looking S than a normal. See if we got another image here. This is a normal S. This is the large S, normal S. So you can tell the difference. This one's a little more curvy. This is a little more square and squat. And here is the 1941 S over S. And we'll zoom in here on this one. And it's kind of hard to see it in this image, but you got a little thickness here, but you can see when you look at these in person, you can actually see it. It won't be any die deterioration in there. There won't be any chips, because die chips is another thing. You'll see also some die deterioration or die breaks right in this area on some of these. That's not a double die, and that's not a repunch mint mark when you see that kind of thing. Die cracks aren't included. It'll be an actual S over S. This is the 1941 S inverted mint mark. So this is your inverted S. As you can see, this in 66 plus sold for $705. They're worth less in lower grades. These can be found circulated. Most of these can be still found in circulation. Might have to look through a few rolls, but here's what it looks like. And this is the closest I can get to this in this image, but I'll show you what a normal mint mark looks like right here. Here's what the inverted looks like. It's kind of hard to tell based on these images. I kind of study them a little bit here. I look back and forth on them. And typically this here is going to be down here. That's the difference. You got the little trumpet end. That's down here on this one. So I know it's kind of hard to tell, but that's a good one to find as well. This one here is the 1941 D over D. And you can see that the D is right at the bottom here. What's the repunched? It was repunched first, kind of weak and out of place, and they repunched it again, and that's how you got your D over D. Another thing about 1942 is they started making an alloy that was mostly, or at least in 1942 they started making an alloy that had a silver composition, but they didn't have the D beside the building, Monticello. The D is actually right here, or the P, or the S. So in other words, it has to have this big mint mark here over top of the building. A lot of people might not know what that's called. It's Monticello. A lot of people pronounce it differently. But it has to have that mint mark to be silver. If you find those, they're typically, worth around $1, around melt. Sometimes, and if you find one that's uncirculated, they're worth a lot more. So here's another in 1942. This is the double diverse FS 101. And when you're looking at this one, you're going to look at the trust. And sometimes it looks like it's kind of flat in this image, but it's not. It's in one direction on the coin. Here it is, a sticker here. It just doesn't look like it in the image, and that's one of the things people get fooled. They think that that's real flat. That's not flat. If it was, it would be strike double. But it's not, and it's all in one direction. It's not all around the coin. Die deterioration double is really bad for being all around the whole letter. Not always, but sometimes. Oh, and here's the date on this. Here is a 1942 D over D, and it's actually the horizontal D over D. I found a couple of these recently, but here's what you're looking for. It's kind of a neat find. These have some value to them in higher grades. So that's going to wrap it up for Jefferson Nickels from 1938 to 1942, the non-silver type 1. I hope this helped you learn what to look for in your change, in your collections, in your rolls. You can buy folders of these Jefferson Nickels for just a little bit, a few dollars here or there, and you can kind of look through even in the later dates, and we'll cover some of the later dates. I'm going to do a video on 42 silver and on, so be looking for that. So please like the video and make a little comment. Share it to people, and also click the little bell beside the subscribe button, and have a great day.